103.9 The Fox, brought to you by Meadowars Jewelers in Flint Township in Fenton. This holiday, give Meadowars and shop Meadowars.com for that special gift. Tragedy in the townships. According to MLive, a driver identified as Christopher Holder of Flint Township was killed when his vehicle suddenly veered off Beecher Road during the overnight hours yesterday, slammed into a utility pole. Investigators are still looking into whether speed or alcohol might have played a role in that wreck. A judge formally dismissed misdemeanor charges against former Governor Rick Snyder in the Flint water crisis. Police records in Snyder's booking photo are now being ordered destroyed. The state's case against Snyder and a host of other defendants unraveled when the Michigan Supreme Court ruled a one-man grand jury cannot be used to indict someone. Detroit police have a new person of interest in custody in connection with the murder of Samantha Wohl, who was found stabbed to death outside her home in Detroit's Lafayette Park on October 21st. Wohl was the leader of the Detroit synagogue and was known for her activism in the area, but police have said her murder does not appear to have been motivated by anti-Semitism. An earlier suspect was taken into custody on November the 8th, but was eventually released. Tough night for the Red Wings and the Pistons, both on the losing end. The Wings fall to the Stars in Dallas 6-3. Pistons' losing streak is now up to 20 straight games as they lost to the Indiana Pacers 131-123. And to cap this one off, where the jobs are. Nearly all of the job growth in the economy in the month of November came from three sectors: healthcare, government employee, and leisure and hospitality. Those three sectors alone, plus private education employment, are responsible for over 8 out of every 10 jobs created this 2K23 year, according to one economist. Analysts say that may help explain why so many folks are pessimistic about the economy, despite what looks like a strong labor market. They might not work in one of those growing three sectors. That's 5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox. Cloud cover increasing today with temperatures only rising to around 38. And it's going to feel a lot colder than that because we're going to feel those crisp westerly winds blowing 13 to 16 miles per hour, gusting as high as 28. Clouds remain tonight as the temps plunge to around 23 overnight. And then tomorrow we're expecting to see lots of sunshine, high up around 36. Thursday, more sun and a bit warmer. We should make it to about 43 on Thursday. Right now, 32 in Flint, and in Saginaw, also 32.
Foxhole Morning Show.
Flint's Classic Rock Authority.
103.9.
103.9.
The Fox.
Flint's Classic Rock 103.9. The Fox is going to hook you up with $103.90 from Financial Plus Credit Union with Money Tuesday. Right?
Yeah, we will do that before the 8 o'clock hour. You are listening for Money by Pink Floyd. When you hear that, go to the Fox Facebook page. I've shared a post there. Be the 9th caller to comment. Just say something like, hey, I just heard Pink Floyd. Am I a winner?
Yeah.
And there you go. You're qualified to win that $103.90 gift card from Financial Plus Credit Union.
Good luck for 103.9, The Fox.
That doesn't sound like our usual host, because it isn't. Johnny Burke and Steph Barber, the hosts of the Foxhole Morning Show on 103.9 The Fox, in Flint, Michigan, home of the formerly crappy water. More on that, as you probably heard in our lead story, to talk about in a moment. But Johnny's away on vacation in Florida for a couple more days. He'll be back with us on Thursday. That's Steve Driver, who normally hosts the midday show and gives away all of our prize money. It happened during the One Song, 1 Second contest. We played 5 of them, and he gave away all 5 $1,000 prizes. Now he's in with Steph this morning, and you'll be hearing from him in a couple of minutes. My name is Hal, and we're here with the group that we call the Hal Raisers, who are our regular viewers of our live stream that we go all around the live stream dial to put on for you. Facebook Mondays, TikTok Tuesdays, Instagram Thursdays, Twitch and Facebook multi-streaming Fridays. And that's the way we're doing it here. And that's why we're on TikTok right now on this Tuesday. So how are you? Nice to see you. Tina's here. Good morning to Tina in New Jersey. Important that you're here because I got something to tell you in a second here. Good morning to City Boy Dan. We know him as American Dan. Hanging out in West Virginia virtually every day as our live and local reporter from there. Those wonderful mountains that I used to drive through back once upon a time when I was working down in southeastern Ohio. So welcome to those of you who are here and missed all the exciting fun that was yesterday on Facebook. We only had a hello, Rotten. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us, and I'll expect that we're going to see some folks who are kind of routed over here by accident as they're scrolling through their TikTok feed, because TikTok these days has changed things up a little bit, and they have started to route you toward a lot more live stream broadcasts, whether or not you want to be there. Because it does open you up to a world of the kind of thing that is on TikTok that maybe you don't know about. You've kind of gotten into your own world and realized that there's a whole lot more of a world of broadcasters that are out there doing all kinds of things, and I think TikTok is trying to expose everybody to that. So that's what's going on there. And so we're going to hang out here with you until about 8 o'clock in the morning here from 103.9 The Fox, which is in Flint, Michigan. As I mentioned, it's a classic rock radio station, which has a mobile app available for you. If you would like to be able to listen to classic rock music 24/7, you can do that by downloading the mobile app from your favorite app store and listen to all day long classic rock music. Yesterday was a blast. When you tap hearts, more come in. Is that right? Was that what we're doing here? Well, wonderful. Thank you very much for doing that and bringing some folks. Now, again, there are going to be people who are only here for a moment or two and realize that this is weird. And so they'll stay, some, and then others are going to find a game somewhere because there's a ton of gamers out here also. I'm seeing an awful lot of people playing Madden football these days as I'm scrolling through my feed. Shazad, good morning to you. Here now is, I think, more music. Let's find out. Yeah, he's just going right on another song. Okay. Then they'll chat with you about something. Yesterday we were on Facebook, but not for long. Sheila's here. Good morning to Bay City, Michigan, where yesterday one of the bridges was not operating. You would not have heard that very much if you were on our Facebook live feed yesterday that we were on, because we were only on it for less than 20 minutes. We had a lot of technical issues yesterday that were a carryover from the weekend. Last Friday, the phones in the studio, which don't affect me because I'm in my home studio here several miles north of the main studio, which Steve and Steph are in right now. But the phones to the studio didn't work yesterday. Hadn't worked all weekend since Friday. They weren't working yesterday. And when the show went on yesterday, we didn't have any working internet in the building either, which meant that I was not able to connect with them. Good morning, Norma. Welcome to our little live stream soiree here. Wasn't able to join you either on the air or here on Facebook, is where it would have been yesterday on live stream, because I had to keep the phone open for back and forth conversation with the studio if they were ever going to get the internet back on. And if the internet wasn't on, I wasn't able to communicate with them. Couldn't even send them recorded newscasts. It was that weird. Morning, Norma. Hello there. Good to see you. Thank you very much for joining us. I'd like to know where you're looking in from. Hello, Bill Hodges. Nice to see you as well. And again, I'd like to see where all of you are from as you join us. We can get kind of an idea of where we're reaching around here. So what happened was the first 2 hours and about 2.25 hours, really, I wasn't even able to be on the air with them because I couldn't connect to the studio. Well, then we finally did get internet back around 7:15. So it was shortly after that we finally went live on Facebook. I couldn't really promote it ahead of time because I didn't know if we were ever going to go live on Facebook at any point. So nobody knew in advance that we were going to be there. And when we were on the Facebook live feed, nobody knew it. To the point where after about 20 minutes we stopped and we had exactly one viewer, and that was not live. That was somebody who watched our replay. But that was it. So now here we are with everything back technologically the way it's supposed to be. And so here we are talking to you now. And if you want to watch a replay of this, it's on my YouTube page. It will be on my YouTube page when we upload it a little later on today or evening. Eduardo Torres, hello to you. Good morning and welcome to join. I say good morning because that's where we are right now in the Eastern Time Zone, and our day is just starting. A lot of people who join us on this probably are already deep into, if not almost wrapping up their days. We look around the world, we see an awful lot of people that watch us from outside the time zone. Brandon Davis, I'm not sure where he is, but he's with us. Good morning, Brandon. Welcome to you as well. 32-degree day on the way to about 38, and because of the westerly winds, it's going to feel a lot colder. I hate those west winds because when I take Jacko out for a walk a couple of times a day, it usually is the kind of wind that is painful on the face, and will be today. Never look forward to that. User 88929, etc. Welcome to you and to Kevin Kelleher and to Johnny M. All of you folks, thank you for joining us today. And Clara and Kay, and Top Hat Walrus, and Mohammed. Hello there, guys and ladies. Stephen and Ron, also among our latest group of viewers to join us today. Pawpaw's here. Good morning, Pawpaw. Let's give all of you a chance to smile a little bit, because that's what we're doing right now. We want to give you a chance to smile at the face of a French bulldog named Bogart, who lives in Antioch, California. This is from our 365 dog calendar, which I've been showing all through the year, and we're almost wrapping up this year, and then we'll start the new one in a couple of weeks, believe it or not. A little less than 3. But this is Bogart. This is Bogart. Isn't that a nice space to smile at? Yeah, there you go. Justine and RMO, hello to both of you. Welcome. My name is Hal. We usually do news and traffic updates with the studio at various points during the morning. We'll get a traffic update coming up in just moments after they get done playing a song. They were playing the song by Pink Floyd, the version of Money, which is going to net somebody some money, and they'll tell you about that in a minute. They were asking listeners to be alert for when that song played, and when it did, somebody's going to get money. Trenton and Opinion Lynn and Blondie, all of you, welcome to all of you. Thank you very much for joining us today. Use a light coating of Vaseline on your cheeks. Do you think I need that? Aw. Hello, Bob, and Paul Orozco. Welcome to you. You know, I can't remember the last time I used Vaseline. I can't. Hello, Donald. Donald Sylvie, nice to see you. And Monty Miller, hello to you and to Jim Dog. Some nice folks joining us from around the world. Kick Plant is here too. Good morning. And Captain Ziggy, hello to you guys. And Poochie, hi, hello. AP Sarah and Christy Hunt. Good morning to both of you. Nice to see you. My name is Hal. Nice to make your acquaintance on this Tuesday, TikTok Tuesday, the 12th of December. Daryl and Stephen, hello to both of you. And Shirley, and nice to see you both. Let's find out if somebody wins in this contest here. Tune into the radio show. It's Steve Driver and Steph Barber joining you now.
I love that little line you can hear say, cruising for a bruising.
Yeah, I think my favorite line is, I'm sorry, different song.
Yes.
Different song. I was thinking Have a Cigar, and the lyric that says, which one's pink?
Oh, yeah.
I think that's my favorite Pink Floyd lyric of all
By
time.
the way, which one's pink?
Yes.
Exactly. That is great. And you know they've heard that.
Oh, I'm sure they have.
With a name like Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
He does his Pink Floyd.
Yeah, is Floyd here?
All of us.
Yeah. So we gave you guys a Facebook challenge. We asked you to listen
For
Pink Floyd.
outside.
Money be the ninth.
Okay. Norm, I see what you're doing. When it's going to be cold out and it's going to hurt, if I use a thin layer of Vaseline, that'll help kind of dissipate the hurt, is what you're saying? That might be good advice there. Hello, Drew. Good morning.
We will reach out through Messenger to get some information from you so that you can collect this gift card from Financial.
Hello, Cindy. Welcome.
$103.
And Michael Trost.
And I think with the Fox Flashback coming up at 7:45, I know we've got tickets to give away to see Styx, Foreigner, and John Wade of the Babies on June 11th at Van Andel. And again, I think we'll put a trivia question about the song or the band that I will do with the Fox Flashback. And we'll look for a correct answer there on Facebook. Fantastic. And somebody would walk away with those tickets. But
the way they're playing this, I think we still don't have phone service in the studio, even here.
Congratulations, Jessica Bedford.
Drew is looking for a count on the pens. We'll count them.
Yeah.
And because she was paying attention.
Morning, Kat.
I don't.
And Whitey. And Alex.
Looks like one's
and
a
Jim.
and one looks like some kind of a.
And Robbie.
She does have fur babies. We could be friends, Jessica.
Yes, then exactly right. We could be very good friends. Stick around, more giveaways for you. And as she said, Steph's Fox Flashback. Going to hook you with some tickets to see the Styx coming up right here on 103.9 The Fox.
Did you just say the Styx?
I did. You know, I've said it before, and I know it's not.
I know.
It's one of those things, it's almost like a Michigan thing where we always say Myers or Walmart.
Yep, I know.
But it's, I got to get it out of my head. tickets to Sticks.
I just had to call you out. I'm sorry.
No, I love it when it happens. Because it's like one of those things you beat yourself up
Right?
for.
No, did I just say thus?
I know, yeah, exactly. What is wrong with me? I've been doing that my whole life. Stick around. Your chance
Hello,
to
Mel.
come. Your chance
And
to
Mark and
come
Susan.
on 103.9 The Fox.
And retired, and so the world. Hello there. Okay, we're going to get to after they get done with the commercials, we're going to get to the traffic. Then we'll do a pen count. And then I have a question for Tina, who is here, one of our regulars. David and Brody, welcome to both of you. You can tune in as I ask this question to Tina. Tina, your drawing is now completed. What I'm going to ask you is if you would prefer to see it first before we show it here. Otherwise, if you'd like, we can show it here now. Tina is one of those. See, one of those, and hundreds of you who are here today don't realize this, but when we're not doing radio and other things that I do, I also do portrait art. And I have had people who enjoy it and have asked to have special portraits done. Tina's one of those who did. And we're going to show it here, says Tina. She's given a thumbs up, so we'll do it. Okay, that's what I wanted to find out. So we'll get to that in a few minutes. And Norma thinks it's 6 pens. Okay, we'll take that guess into account. We'll count them up after we're done. Headbanger Sports is here. That's good. Hi, Headbanger. Nice to see you. Talking to the Moon is here. Hello, Talking to the Moon. That's interesting. I've tried that a couple times unsuccessfully. Sharan is here. Hello to you. Welcome. And to Alan. And then there was somebody who had one of those deals where it looks like somebody shrugging their shoulders, but they're using all kinds of keyboard stuff in order to be able to make that shape and draw it out that way. Henry Ford is here, not the real one. Welcome. And to Nate, all of you who are here. We're going to do traffic in a minute here, and then we'll count the pens, and then we're going to show you a drawing. All those things. No, it doesn't seem to me, hello CB Smith, it doesn't seem to me like their phones are still working, and that's something, because they haven't worked since last Friday. I don't know what's going on with that situation. It's hard to play contests, it's hard to do business when you don't have phone service in the studio. Claudia, hello Claudia. And to Pixie Forehand, and to Lucy Woods. All of our latest to join our little gathering today. Pinch Me is here, Dwayne is here, and Bronco Pro is here. Welcome to all. Willie Ray, good to you. Good to see you. Drink and Michael Glass, both here. Drink and Glass are two different people. Let me point that out to you. MRAC and Yahoy 3 and Crazy Red Book Lover. Oh, really? Also here. You Don't Know is here. Juan and Moose are here. We're getting a rush of people being routed here by the TikTok gods who say, we're going to ask you to look at all these live streams and see which ones are your favorites. And hopefully a few of you are going to say this one is. This one is. Because we're here 4 days a week at this point. We've been doing these live streams for 8 years. Started on Periscope, moved around. Now we've settled on doing it on a rotating basis where we do Facebook on Mondays. We're here on TikTok on Tuesdays, Instagram on Thursdays, and then Friday we do a multi-stream on Twitch and on Facebook. Okay. User with a bunch of numbers after that. Scuba Tony is here, and Robert are all here. Good morning to all of you.
Auto Body in Owasso, highly rated and referred, and the area's most trusted facility when it comes to exceptional and quality body work on your car.
And Fix It Frankie and Johnny Jackson also have joined the party. Grab your favorite beverage, sit on down, and hang a while with us while we get set to do some traffic. And Justin Folsom, hello there. Scott Miller, hi.
Auto Body and let them handle the details. Impact Auto Body on M21, 2.5 miles west of Owasso. Traffic.
3.9 The Fox.
Vehicle City traffic.
A couple of things going on. We have a serious crash in Richfield Township right now involving injuries, so we want to avoid the area of State and Richfield roads while they handle that. That's State and Richfield roads. Also in the city of Burton, the 4300 block of Saginaw Street, 4500 block of Saginaw Street, a crash just involved there that is going to be having to be handled for a little while. We did have a ladder in the road a little bit earlier in Davison Township on State Road, but that has been picked up, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. Just to let you know that those are still an ever-present possibility around here, those loose ladders that fall off of trucks or out of the beds of pickup trucks. Nothing happening on any of the freeways at the moment, but if you spot something, we invite you to tell us at 810-230-WRSR. That's 810-230-9777 to get that vehicle city traffic all the time, anytime from plasticfox.com/traffic. Be a traffic tipster right here on 103.9 The Fox.
How does it seem? I mean, it just seems odd to me, all of the random things that get left on our roadways. Do you think that's like a Flint or a Genesee County thing, or does this happen all over the place?
I have not heard of it happening in all kinds. I mean, I've seen stories come out where we have wild animals that end up cows on the road, donkeys on the road. We've even had all those, too. We've had a human arm at one point, but we claimed that, but that was actually down in the Detroit area 2-3 years ago. And because of it, somebody had called it in before they called the emergency squad about a crash that had just happened. It was obviously a gruesome one. And so that was the wildest thing that's ever shown up. But as far as your question, I tend to think it's got to do with the fact that there are a lot of independent contractors, the guys that do roofing and flooring and all those kind of home improvement things, and they take ladders with them in their vans or on their trucks, and sometimes they don't secure them properly, and then they'll fall under the middle of the road, and the resulting comical traffic reports from that.
I love it.
We got a folding chair across the street on the entrance to the Genesee.
Oh, we do?
We do. I figured when we get off here, I'm going to run over there and get it out of the way.
We can always use more chairs.
Yeah, exactly right.
Traffic service of Fick Landscape Supplies as temperatures drop. Don't find yourself in a thick and slippery situation. Fick Landscape Supplies now offers rock salt in bags or bulk, available for home or commercial snow removal. Keep your driveways and walkways clear this winter with Fick Landscape Supplies. And I think you're onto something, Hal. I think it must be all of the crews and all of that stuff.
I will tell you a quick story here before you get back into the music, is that I was on my way back home on an especially windy day on, it was been northbound 75, right after getting my first COVID vaccine. I was on the way home from Grand Blanc. And as I'm driving in the right lane, a pickup truck passes me, and about 30 feet ahead of me, it had a ladder in the bed of the pickup. And as I mentioned to you, it was a windy day, right?
Right.
Big, humongous gust of wind blows, and up comes that ladder right out of the bed of its pickup, heading right for my windshield. And I thought, okay, I've been talking about ladders on the traffic reports. The ladder gods are out to get me.
Yep.
Fortunately, this guy had his thing tethered to the truck with a big, long rope, and it pulled it down onto the ground, and in front of me, it's dragging this ladder for a quarter mile before he pulls over onto the shoulder of the road. I thought it was going to go through my windshield. Fortunately, it did not.
Yeah, that could have been bad. I'm glad you ended up on the okay side of that, Hal.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't always end that way.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
As I said, folding chair in the road over there at the Genesee Valley Center, so I'll go get that.
Perfect. I wonder if the manhole cover ever showed up yesterday.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Hopefully no one ended up in the manhole.
Right.
Here's Bon Jovi, Dead or Alive, 103.9 The Fox.
Yes, free ladders in the road are what keeps insurance companies in the money. It is kind of a phenomenon that we have in the Flint area, in Genesee County, that I don't see in a lot of other areas. And yes, there was an incident several years ago where there was a human arm that was discovered in the road because it had been involved in an incredibly gruesome crash. And before the emergency crews had gotten there, the arm had been discovered in the road. This is down in the Detroit area. This is a little bit, Detroit area is like 60 miles south of here. It wasn't up in Flint, but we've always kind of claimed it because we've had such bizarre stuff in the road. And I mean, we've had all kinds of objects and debris of all kinds in the road. But the thing that shows up the most often is the ladders that come off of these trucks and out of the trucks and off of the vans kind of thing. Richard and Phil, welcome to you. Let me do a pen count because we've had guesses come in, and this is what we have. And usually we have pens. Anytime we have a shirt that contains a breast pocket, there's usually pens here because I loan them out to people and then never give them back, going back to my high school days. Hello, Mary. Welcome to you, Mary Soros. 1 pen, 2 pens, 3 pens. Hello, Mike. 4 pens, 5 pens, 6 pens, 7 pens. And this one, special one. This is from a fellow that we have in the UK. It's been a long time watcher of ours and listener and participant of ours in Manchester. His name is, well, on here it's Wayfinder because that's the name of his company in Manchester. And it's a multi-purpose thingy which involves this rubber tip for preventing fat fingering. You can use that to tap on your keyboard, the pen itself, and then it also has a little pen light at the end, which the battery has run out of a long time ago, but I still like to keep the pen because it still works. What did I lost count? What am I at here? 7. 8. Dropped it. Hello. There it is. 8. And hello, Chris. And 9. 9 pens. We have 9 pens today in the pocket. So in case anybody needs one, here we are. User and Brian Fitzgerald are now with us. Good morning to you guys and to Justin, who's also here. Tina said 8. Well, your eyesight's pretty good. You didn't miss by much. Eyesight's got to be good for this, though, because I'm going to show... Hello, Atticus. I'm going to look and see if I can get this out here. All right. Let me show you guys, first of all, Tina and her daughter, who live in New Jersey, had a couple of animals, still do. One is a dog named Jeter, one is a cat named Lola, and they had asked for both to be drawn in portrait form. We did that for them. Should go back to the contests, half-price art. Oh, yeah. The thing about it, Tina, is that I don't nearly have as much time to do the art as I have in the past. I would have gotten this drawing earlier done for you, but I had to kind of piecemeal it. I did a little bit a day, a little bit each day, a little bit each day, because it was in the middle of all the other things that I've been doing. Kathy's here. Good morning to Kathy. So let me quickly show you the... I'm just taking a look at the temperatures here. Let me show you what we used as the reference drawing, because this is a drawing of a dog named Rocco, who has become kind of the peacemaker between Derek and Lola, the dog and the cat, in that household. This is let's see if I can switch the camera here. I can't remember how to do this. This is it. There we go. This is Rocco. Okay? Nope, that's not what I want. Go back here. There we go. That's Rocco. What a fine-looking guy he is, right? Isn't that cool? Now, let me see if I can show you. This is what we did with Rocco's picture. That is what we did with Rocco's picture. And that is what we have. So we're going to be sending that off to Tina in the next little while. Thank you, Tina. Appreciate that. Glad that it works for you. And David, hello there. You're just in time to see us show off a little bit of art that we do. This is Rocco. That is in Tina's home, right? Appreciate that. Thank you, Jokes24. This is the kind of thing that we do, which kind of adds to some of the other stuff that we also do. In the past, we've done things. I'm going to get the drawing of my dog Denver. It's hard to. Let me turn this light off, and then it'll help you with that a little bit. There. All right. That was Denver, my late dog, who was just cool. And then we've got some other stuff that we do. We have people who actually like to have places drawn for them. The 7th hole at Pebble Beach is this one. And then a vacation up north cottage is this one. Those were both drawn for the same person. And then we got some other drawings that people might recognize of their particular subjects that we do. There you go. That's what we do when we're not doing the stuff that we do on the radio and voiceover and other stuff. Hello, Robert. Hello there. Good to see you. Okay. Get that off of there. Get there. Get everything set back up like we should. And appreciate the opportunity to draw Rocco for you. What I'm going to do before we send it out is sign it and then throw a quick film of hairspray onto it, like we do anytime she will can't carry. Okay, cool. Thank you. I'm going to put a little film of hairspray onto it so that the graphite does not smudge when you touch it. Because that's something that we do also with all of the drawings. Hello, anything's possible. Welcome to you. And that's a good philosophy. Anything's possible. I believe that. Hello, Robert. Now, Copper Boy, we know as Jason, our world traveler. Where are you today? Welcome to Jason, and where are you looking in from? Thank you for your support, Tina, all the time. Having a great morning? So far, yeah. It got better because you just showed up here, so there you go, right? Thanks for helping make it better. You're from Michigan. Well, let's get a little bit more, all right? Where? From my high-priced weather map here. What? Where are you looking in from? Nady, hello there. You're getting ready for work. Are you going to work at home in Vegas or somewhere else? Hello, Puckman. I assume that makes you a hockey either fan or player. 4 is here. And he says John here, but that's one of our regulars that we know as 4. Okay, Detroit. Grew up there. Northeast side of Detroit, right in the city. Grew up there. Long time ago, just about a mile south of the 8-mile dividing line, which took you between Detroit and, at that time, East Detroit. It is now called East Point. And I am about 3 blocks west of the Kelly Road. No, I'm sorry. It is Kelly Road that divided Harper Woods from Detroit. So you know. That's as close as I can tell you where we were growing up. Hello there, Bridget. Nice to see you, Bridget. Yes, Detroit is quite the city. Was quite the city then, too, although it was far different then than it is now. It was a lot, number one, it was a lot more populated. Not nearly as many people in the city anymore. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Chrissy, hi, Chrissy. Used to live on a corner house right across the street from a city park and kitty corner from a privately owned Catholic school/church park. So I had all kinds of this westerly wind was blowing across to us all the time. So on the days when west winds were blowing, we felt it at the house all the time. It is getting better. That's what I hear. That's what I hear. I haven't actually visited the area for quite a while. I didn't recognize it when I did because the last time I did, there was a barbed wire fence over the barbed wire was over the fence that was in what used to be the backyard I grew up in and played a lot of wiffle ball baseball in back in the day. Shopio now. Hello there. Welcome to you. A lot of abandonment, but slowy. Yeah, it takes a long time. It took a long time to deteriorate, so it's going to take a long time to build back up. But we're confident because there are some people in the city who back it with money that can help make it what it used to be again. And I'm real happy about that. There are some supportive people who believe it can be rebuilt, and they're doing it from the downtown out, I think, because they've done well with that Fox Theater area, and they've done well with putting Comerica Park and Ford Field up, and they're starting to build out and turn it into something. There's some gutted areas that really need to be that really need to be rebuilt, new houses and stuff, so that we can show off. When you show pictures of Detroit, it's hard to find the most picturesque parts, but they're there, and more happening out there. Hello, Roy Gomez. Welcome to you as well. Let's see what they're going to do right now. From the studio, Steve and Steph.
Medical Center Studios.
Music is what they're going to do. From a Michigan musician, Bob Seeger. Hello, Max L. I moved out west. No, I didn't move out west. Actually, I moved east. When I left Detroit, I moved. My first radio job was in Indiana, south central Indiana. Worked in Ohio, went to Portland, Maine for Ohio, and then came back to Michigan again, and that's where we are right now in Flint, Michigan, which is a city that has made the news for all the wrong reasons, just like Detroit tends to. Matthew and Crack and Jay, all of you guys are here. Yeah, I'd actually not done as much traveling out west as I'd like to. I've got 23 states I've yet to visit, and the only one that I've actually spent any appreciable amount of time in, and when I say appreciable amount of time, it's been like a day or two for family weddings and so forth, is New Mexico. Every place else still needs to get visited out that way. Hello, Plum Bright. Good to see you. I don't know what it is about how I always keep getting drawn to cold weather and lousy. I mean, everywhere I go, it's either gray or rainy or incredibly cold like Maine was. Oh, that was crazy. It lived right off the ocean. I had the ocean. The Atlantic Ocean was right in my backyard. We were living over there at that time. I think it's nice. It's good to see the traveling stuff. I'd like to be able to travel more. It's been more difficult to do these days because I've been busier, and thus stuff that's keeping me here has been difficult. But hey, I've had fun with it, and so I'm not going to complain too much about that. They say that when you retire, you can then do your traveling, and so I'm still waiting for that to happen. Hello, Rand. Welcome. Good morning or good afternoon, whatever applies to you. Good evening, whatever applies to you. If you're in Australia, we've got some Australian viewers who come in. You're afraid to pack up and go west. If you have your choice of traveling, anything's possible. Is that where you're choosing to go, is west? You're not choosing south or north or east? User 559, 572, etc., etc. That's what your friends call you anyway, 559, 572. So considering you to be one of our friends, I'll call you that for now. Welcome to all of those of you who are coming here by accident because TikTok routed you here. Nice to see all of you. This is a live morning radio show. We're taking you behind the scenes of this show, Classic Rock Radio in Flint, Michigan. 103.9 The Fox. Show normally hosted by Johnny Burke and Steph Barber. Johnny is in Florida for a couple more days. He'll be back Thursday. Don't know any more with the weather, honestly. Been thinking maybe the west weather will move this. A lot of people want to move because of the weather more than anything else. But I'll tell you what, in Michigan, the weather is definitely a variety. Sometimes you get all four seasons in the same day. That's something that's kind of famously a trait of ours. But we are also, generally speaking, hello LMS, welcome to you. We're generally speaking guarded from all of the weather extremes. We don't get the tornadic activity that the plain states get. We don't get the hurricanes that the Florida people get on a routine basis. I still can't understand how they continually board up their homes all the time. Every year they're boarding up their homes. Made you think warm and sunny. That's what it was the time that I was in New Mexico, is warm and sunny, and it's a very dry heat. It's the only time I've been exposed to that. If you live in Michigan, you know about the humidity that's here. So that when it gets to be 90 degrees around here, it feels like 100 plus because of the humidity. Makes that air feel heavy and you don't feel motivated and you feel kind of drawn out. Then you go out to New Mexico like I did, and it was 90 degrees when I got off the plane that day. Went to a baseball game the next night and sat in the shade. The game time temperature was 90, but in the shade it felt like 70 because there was no humidity. It was great. That part was great. Now you certainly are going to find that if you're out in that sun, you don't want to stay in it long because that sun will sneak up on you. Is that kind of heat. And by the way, thanks for following here. Mick is here. Hello, Mick. Good to see you. Johnny is away, so it's Steve and Steph. We're going to talk to you right now from the studio on the air. Hello, James Ray.
Flint's Classic Rock 103.9 The Fox with Michigan's own Bob Seger. Speaking of all the concerts we were talking about, I never got to check him off my bucket list. And he's
You've never seen Bob Seger?
I never got a chance to see him live, and of course he's done touring. So I never will have the chance.
How is that even possible?
I've never seen Bob Seger in concert. I did see him in rehearsal once, and it was in Maine. I said it was in Portland, Maine. I saw him in rehearsal for a show he was doing at the stadium, the arena that night. When I was in Maine, it was to be the broadcaster for the hockey team there. And the arena where they played, Bob Seger played a show that night. We were in the offices in the building, and the speakers were just blowing us out during rehearsal. So we just went out in the arena and watched him. It was great.
Well, Katie somehow had an extra ticket to go see Bob Seger on a Saturday evening on a weekend that I was down there. So it was me, Katie, and Katie's older sister. And how my dad ever left me out of the house, I have no idea, but I'm still grateful today.
Hello, Bill.
Did you tell him what you were really doing?
Yeah.
And he actually let you know?
Yes.
Well,
He
check
said,
it out.
go have fun, be home by midnight, and have a good time. And we were pavilion, second row back, dead center.
Wow.
It was on that evening that I learned the power of live rock and roll music.
Yeah, for real. I've actually...
Incredible.
Sir, yeah, for real. To be that close to one of the... And he was such a great singer.
Yeah, he was.
True singer.
Yeah.
And he sounded so good. Live, too.
I know.
It
He was a beast live.
Right. And even though I've never seen them, I have seen videos. And obviously they have the Silver Bullet Band live albums where Bob still sounds like Bob.
Morning, Cindy Perkins.
He really does.
That's amazing.
And I didn't realize until later, my mom and I were talking, and I was describing a Bob Seger concert that I had just gone to. And she's like, I love Bob Seger. I would love to see him live. I've never been to a concert. And I'm like, what? You've never been to a concert?
Right.
So, unbeknownst to her, we got tickets to see him in Milwaukee.
Oh, wow.
So we drove up to the UP, got her, drove to Milwaukee, did the show, spent the night, and came back, and it was so cool to share that experience with my mom.
I'm Maddie.
For sure, and what a road trip.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, got to spend some time with her on the
road.
That's fantastic.
Very cool.
Don't forget, Steph's Fox Flashback is coming up. Your shot to win some tickets.
Lee Krause, howdy.
Sticks. Coming up right here on 103.9 The Fox.
Okay, they're into the commercials. We'll follow that up with traffic report. There are no ladders in the road, I'm pleased to tell you at this point. It happens once in a while, but we don't have one now. There was one earlier. Wow, okay, let's see what's going on here now. Actor turn took out a white and Moorish.
Trivia every Monday night starting at 7 p.m. and enjoy acoustic music every Thursday from 6 till 9 p.m.
Oh, okay.
And third Friday of every month. And the world famous English Rocks the Captain's House down the first Saturday of every month. Open daily until 2 a.m. Each winter time at CQ. And you're gonna
all right.
menu items, delicious pizza, appetizers, burgers, and more. Search the
Yeah, we've got one kind of a messy crash still being dealt with. They're still cleaning that up, and then we have apparently we have here some blinking yellow lights on one of the intersection's traffic signals because of an earlier crash there. But nothing is happening on any of the freeways right now, which is a good news story. We got a lot of people in this area that are heavy commuters to the south. We mentioned that we're about 60 miles north of Detroit. A lot of people commute to the Detroit area, either inside the city or close, every day. That's an hour commute if you have a good day of traffic. And typically southbound during the Friday, 5, 6, 7 o'clock hours every weekday morning, it's pretty clogged. So it takes a lot longer than an hour to get there.
For 60 months, the $29 sales event. Every vehicle, $29 down. $29. 2 locations. Brand blank Nissan.
User 204, hello to you, and thanks to Tina for posting our schedule, because we have one that is sometimes difficult to keep up with if you're not used to the rotation.
Michigan Premier CBD.
Located at 6012 Linden Road.
In Swartz Creek.
Kevin O'Shea, hi.
Family
Welcome.
owned and operated since 2020.
We can help you better your wellness.
From tinctures to top
Recovering Redneck and Mark F.
Michigan Premier
Welcome to you. Good morning, good day, whatever it is that applies to you
Shop online
this morning. And
anytime
Anthony,
at
hi.
MichiganPremierCBD.com or stop in today
At
at
6012 Linden Road.
You know, just as I said it, I see somebody else has dropped another ladder out there. Oh my gosh.
claim to sell you a website and a
This is
digital
just,
platform.
it's
But did you know
the
that when
ladder
your
capital of
agreement
the
ends,
world.
they own your website and your digital platform. Not with in-house media. We build and design websites, logos, and radio and TV.
Where is this one? This is Middle Lane.
When
All
we're
right.
done, you own all of
Wow.
it. We also provide web hosting, tech support, SEO services, and so much more. When we're done, the site is
Crazy.
yours. Trademarks are yours. Don't get your head caught. in
Hello,
a
Vegas
corporate cluster.
Vacation.
Work
Howdy.
with somebody locally right
Welcome
here
to you.
in Genesee County. Online at
The
inhousemediaofficial.com.
recap of
In-house
this
media,
entire
running business,
conversation, our
building
full
business.
broadcast replay is going to be posted on my YouTube page later on today. So if you care to see what you missed because you just happened upon this in midstream and wondering what the hell this is, we'll be up there for you with that. Hello, Carl. Carlo. It is Carlo that we see. Good morning.
Yourself with buy one, get one for $1. Choose from favorites like a McChicken, McDouble, or small fries. And get another for
Where's the
$5.
rest of us today? Must have been busy. You know, we only had yesterday on my 17 minutes of Facebook Live, one viewer, a replay viewer. Nobody was with us live the entire time because there was absolutely no promotion in advance. How's Dylan? You're talking about Dylan Larkin, the Red Wings captain. He is going to be out on IR for at least a week. They still have to evaluate him. He was injured significantly in the head the other day, crashing the boards. Hello, appropriately whelmed.
500 times moneymaker with top prizes of $6 million. So give something wonderful with holiday instants from the Michigan Lottery.
It's tough having him out of the lineup.
The best bet.
Fast Eddie's Car Wash
Look for me,
and
wasn't on when I checked. We didn't get on, Sheila, until about 20 after
Car Wash
7
memberships
yesterday
is
because it
perfect
took that
gift.
long
Starting
for
as
us to
low
get
as
internet
$17 a month.
in the
Wash your
studio.
vehicle
So I
every day
wasn't
with
hooked up with them in the studio for the first 2 hours of the show. And I had to keep the phone free. Couldn't live stream. I had to keep the phone free for back and forth conversation for when we were going to be able to finally go live on the air. Because, of course, that's first priority is getting on the air, at least with them. And then after that, we did an abbreviated Facebook Live and with absolutely no warning to anybody because we couldn't tell them when we were going to be on. We didn't even know if we would be at some point. We didn't think we'd be on back on at all. Hello, Joe Witt. Nice to see you. So understandable that nobody got the word that we were on and came to visit us until way later. Hi, Ryan. Welcome.
This specific membership is auto-renewed each month after the first at the normal price of $26.95. Memberships vary. See your local Fast Eddies for details.
Traffic.
Here we go.
The Fox.
Vehicle City traffic.
You know, just as we drop a ladder at one point and have it picked up, we get a loose ladder somewhere else. Got another one. Middle lane, westbound 69, just before Saginaw Street in Flint. Something else to have to dodge. It's a ladder in the middle lane. That's going to be westbound 69 before Saginaw Street. Other problems we're looking at for you in the city of Swartz Creek, the intersection of Moorish and Miller Roads. We have a malfunctioning traffic signal, which I guess is related to an earlier crash in that area where a truck hit a pole, but that's Moorish and Miller Roads. Still cleaning up a messy crash involving injury earlier in Richfield Township. That's at State Road in Richfield, and in the city of Burton, the 4500 block of Saginaw Street. That is also the scene of an earlier crash that is being cleaned up. If you spot other problems at any time, we invite you to call us. Let us know at 810-230-WRSR. That's 810-230-9777. And get that Vehicle City traffic information when you need it. 24/7, it's there. ClassicFox.com/traffic. It's a place. And be a traffic tipster for us right here on 103.9 The Fox.
Traffic, a service of Del Air Heating and Cooling. Stay cozy this fall with Del Air Heating and Cooling. Score unbeatable $6 a month maintenance plans and make sure your furnace is winter ready. Plus, power up with an automatic standby Generac generator. Call now at 810-379-0322 or visit fixmyheat.com.
The Foxhole Morning Show on 103.9 The Fox. Steph's Fox Flashback.
Good morning. So you guys know that I ask a trivia question after the song, and I'm going to ask that trivia question today, but the phones are still kind of sketchy. They're in and out. So I'm going to ask a trivia question on the air, and then I'm going to invite you to go to the Fox Facebook page and type in the correct answer to that trivia question when I get to it. The third person with that correct answer will score
Hello, Samuel and Fred.
Six Foreigner and John Wayne of the Babies on June 11th. They will be at Van Andel Arena in Grand Rapids. So here we go with Steph's Fox Flashback. Their drummer suggested to Don Henley and Glenn Frey that they bring Joe Walsh into the Eagles, which they did. And Leonard Skinner, lead singer Ronnie Van Zant, had a boat named after the band. Let's get into it from their 1977 album, Burnin' Sky. It's the title track from one of Ronnie Van Zant's favorite bands, Bad Company, now on the Fox.
Okay. That's Steph's Fox Flashback. She is super knowledgeable of classic rock music. And the Giants win at home. Oh, wow, okay. Just watching some highlights of the two. They had 2 Monday Night Football games on last night, which was kind of odd. And looks like we have Giants and Titans field goals that are deciding those issues. Weird to have 2 Monday Night Football games on, but that's what we had. Where's Billy D when there's ladders? Billy is never here at the right time. He likes turtles, as you know, and because you followed his exploits for years as well. He lives in Connecticut, and he joins us when he can because he's in retail, and retail managers are always at people's beck and call, and so he's busy with that. Usually, he gets here at the wrong time. He's kind of like a turtle. Slow on the draw, and gets here a little bit too late for anything. He's always looking for things to outfit his home with, and stuff shows up in the roads that'll allow him to do that. But he's never here when that happens. Use 157-293-504-3960. Good morning to you. Good day to you. We're broadcasting from Flint, Michigan, and you might have heard the news. It is now starting to filter out that the last official attempt to make anybody accountable for the Flint water crisis, which happened back 9 years ago now, has kind of been washed away by the latest legal development. And that is that the misdemeanor case against our former governor, Rick Snyder, who was at the helm of the state when the water crisis unfolded back in 2K14 and then lasted for 2 years before anybody realized that there was a crisis. There is nobody in government that is paying for it. From the governor on down to about 9 other defendants who were supposed to be brought to trial for their respective roles, this thing was mishandled on every single level when it came to the federal government, the state government, and the local government. And everybody misstepped, but nobody misstepped so much that they could be fully held accountable. It was just a little bit of everything in every department that all contributed to this mess that turned into a crisis which affected the health of a generation of people over the course of a 2-year span. And yesterday, the final case was dismissed, and that was a misdemeanor charge against our former governor, Rick Snyder. At the center of it, none of this had anything to do with the merits of the case that was being brought to trial and ultimately didn't get there. It had nothing to do with that. It had everything to do with a procedural problem where the prosecution team tried to indict based on one grand juror or one-person grand jury. It turns out the Michigan Supreme Court says you can't do that. One-person grand juries cannot indict. And so their case fell apart just on that legal technicality. And so nobody is paying legally for the Flint water crisis. And that has got the entire city aghast. But, it's taken so long to try this thing. It went through 2 different prosecution teams before it even got that far. There was an enormous amount of investigation being done on the case. There has been an enormous amount of work done to try to replace all of the offending pipes. For those who are a little sketchy on the details of it, it basically had to do with the fact that the city of Flint tried to, because the water was so bad, switch the source. And the other thing was it was costly, and that's where the governor came in. because we were getting our water in the Flint area from the same source that furnished Detroit with its water. It was getting expensive, and the city wanted to cut costs. At least the governor wanted the city to be able to cut costs. And so it was arranged so that the water from the Flint River would be what was piped in. Now you look at that and think you get it from the where. Normally it is filtered through a pipe system. The problem is the pipe system that was being used to filter that water was so old that it had lead still contained within it, and that lead was it hadn't been properly treated, and that lead was leaching into the water. And people didn't realize that until a pediatric doctor from one of the local hospitals happened to notice the lead levels in kids that she was examining were rising off the charts, and brought that to the government's attention. And eventually, long story short, the crisis was discovered. And it took forever to try to convince the people in government that we got to go back to the old source, because the stuff that we're using now is becoming really bad because it is very toxic.
He was in a hotel in Paris, and he knew that he would be walking into the studio to do some session times on the new songs.
Right.
He needed something to record. So he wrote the lyrics and the music to Burn in Sky in one afternoon, walked it into that studio in Paris, and knocked it out in one try.
That's
just like that.
That's beyond impressive.
I know, crazy, huh?
Yeah, especially being a musician and knowing what it takes to do that.
Yeah.
That's not easy.
No, and being burned out and feeling pushed and rushed too.
Yeah, burned out. The last thing you want to do is.
Yeah, that never has good consequences for me, but.
And that worked out great.
Yeah, Paul Rogers pulled it off nicely.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Love me some Bad Company. That was a great flashback too.
You really, yeah.
I think she's got a whole.
Tina's dad said don't drink tap water. When I was growing up, the only water you could get, I guess kids get to take bottled water into classes with them. The only water that I grew up with in elementary or high school was the kind that was in the water fountains in the hallways, and that was that liquid metal that was coming through the pipes. It was just it. That's why I hated, growing up, I hated water. Now I drink it all the time because it's purified. It comes through these bottles.
All right, I have left a very specific post so that you can put your correct answer in the comments section of that post.
He used to distill
now, it's
it.
not the post that I used for the Financial Plus Credit Union gift card
Right,
a few minutes ago. It is also not on the Fox Facebook
Morning,
live
JF.
stream. All right, go to the Fox Facebook page. It's right there at the top. And
But going through the drinking fountains that you'd get in the park or in any of the public buildings or schools or whatever, it always had that metallic taste to it all the time. And that's what I grew up thinking water always was. I didn't realize it could actually, even though it doesn't have necessarily a taste to it if it goes through the bottles, that's the good part about it. It doesn't taste bad because it doesn't really taste at all, but it's refreshing. The feeling of the cold liquid is refreshing going down the throat without tasting like you're drinking metal.
What was his name?
Oh, good question.
What was his name? He was the manager of Swan Song Records, which was Led Zeppelin's label.
Yeah.
And Bad Company and Led Zeppelin shared this manager for a while. What was his name?
Great question.
If you know, go to the Fox.
Hey,
Facebook
Stacy,
page,
welcome.
The third person to tell me, and you will win those tickets to see Styx, Foreigner, and John Waite at Van Andel Arena next June. You might even have time to Google it, although I don't endorse that.
Right. Use your brain.
Yeah, and hopefully we will come back to a winner in just a few right here on the Fox.
Detroit Lions football.
Okay, we're going to get into the commercials. We'll get into the news in just a second here. So that's coming up. Time flies when you're having fun when you're doing an hour of this thing here. Thursday, we'll be back with you on Instagram. My Instagram page is halmoss_news. So look for that if you would like to, and then that will, if you follow it, clue you in to when we go live. Friday, we will be on Twitch and Facebook as a multi-streamed cast. And hopefully we'll do so without any technical issues, which we seem to have erased by going through that multi-stream process, because Twitch was just loaded with glitches for the last 3 weeks that we tried to go just strictly there.
That crazy period of time between Thanksgiving and New Year's Day. Yep, we're in the thick of it.
But we typically try to do this most days during the week. it is also getting close to the time where we will be taking a couple of Mondays off because Christmas and New Year's both fall on Mondays this year. And so we're going to get, I say we, the morning show. Johnny and Steph and I will all have 3-day weekends because of that. We won't have a morning show on Christmas morning, Monday, the 25th, nor New Year's morning on January 1st, and so we'll be away from here as well. So take that into account as you're planning. Not that you were planning on joining us anyway, because I'm assuming that Christmas and New Year's you were going to take a break from us as well. It's not like we figured anybody would be here, which is part of the reason why we kind of decide, well, what the hell, we'll sleep in. Hello, Larry. Good to see you. Welcome.
I spent a lot of time with the testimonials there on the page. Lots of people saying how the 3-step arch support system.
Well, she's talking about she's got a issue with her hip, and proper footwear helps that along, and that's what she's talking about. Hot Jim is here from Phoenix, where it's at 6 a.m. Pacific time, 49 degrees, on its way to 70 today. Well, it's 32 here, Jim, and it's on the way to 38. Ooh, baby. Going to be in the 40s on Thursday.
No referrals, no shots, no surgery, no medication, no orthopedic shoes. Again, these work in your shoes or boots.
Hot Jim, one of our favorites. He's a regular of ours also, who joins us from Phoenix, where he controls a robot army at Amazon, making sure you all get your packages on time. You get your package on time. If it was delivered to you through Amazon, you got Jim to thank. Hot Jim is our man.
Get ready to make a difference this holiday season with the Food Bank.
He is, as they say, under the gun. And when we had earlier, we had our world traveler, Jason. He's also making sure that through another pathway, you're able to get your packages delivered on time, because he's driving for FedEx. And I think I found out he was he lives in Vegas, and I think that's where he was today, although I didn't really finally get to find that out. I was busy when he was, I think, answering us. But he was with us earlier. We saw him as Copper Boy. I'm not sure if he was in Vegas or on the road. You're back on 11-hour day. Oh, my gosh. Jesus Ontiveros, hello to you, and to RBMK1. 11-hour days every day. That's not. Is that a 5-day week, or is that more than a 5-day week, Hot Jim? Hello, Kurt. Good to see you.
We played for the thrill. That rush you feel with the game on the line. I'm Herman Moore, Lions All-Pro wide receiver.
11-hour days. I'm not surprised. I am not surprised at all. 5 days mandatory.
I'm still in the game. Sign up now and get up to
Not surprised at all.
That's right. Up to $1,000 for a risk-free bet on your next favorite underdog parlay.
I'm surprised you guys, honestly, because of how big Amazon has gotten in the general scheme of everything, I'm surprised you guys aren't working out of padded rooms now, like we do with our, well, you can't see it, but our padded, I can bang my head on that once. That's what I picture you guys doing.
Classic Rock 103.9, the Fox, waking up with the Foxhole Morning Show. 8:03 this Tuesday morning. I'm Steve Driver, filling in for Johnny Burke on vacation until Thursday. And how do we do on the...
We did great.
Nice.
You guys knew the answer. Of course, it was Peter Grant.
Nice, yep.
Peter Grant.
Yes.
Yes. And sadly enough, Peter Grant passed away. He had a fatal heart attack while he was driving with his son.
Hello, Alexis.
In 1995, he was 60 years old.
That's sad.
It is sad.
I hope yeah.
But man, talk about a life well lived.
Yes.
Can you imagine being on the road with Led Zeppelin
Seriously.
back in the day?
Like that had to be a blast and a half. It's hard to imagine, seriously.
The debauchery, the decadence.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of debauchery, let's check in on all the things that make your world go
News time. Debauchery now. Is that where we're going? Okay. All right. 5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox, and it's officially over now. A judge formally dismissing misdemeanor charges against former Governor Rick Snyder in the Flint water crisis. Police records and Snyder's booking photo are being ordered destroyed. State's case against Snyder and a host of other defendants unraveled when the Michigan Supreme Court ruled a one-man grand jury cannot be used to indict someone. Deadly crash yesterday in Flint Township. As according to MLive, a driver identified as Christopher Holder of Flint Township was killed when his vehicle suddenly veered off Beecher Road during the overnight hours and slammed into a utility pole. Investigators still looking into whether speed or alcohol played a role in that wreck. We're learning details of the contract reached between Michigan State University and its new president, Kevin Guskowitz. The MSU Board of Trustees signed off on a 5-year deal, which will reportedly include a $975,000 base salary. Israel's defense minister pushing back against international calls to wrap up the country's military offensive in the Gaza Strip. There is pressure growing to wind it down amid widespread damage and heavy civilian death toll caused by the 2-month military campaign. Red Wings lost to the Dallas Stars 6-3 last night, while the Pistons' losing streak is now up to 20 games. Pistons lost to the Pacers 131-123. And to cap this one off, nobody won Powerball last night. That'll roll the jackpot for tomorrow over to $500 million. Yep, $500 million you're going after. That's 5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox.
103.9 The Fox.
Forecast today calling for cloud cover to increase with temperatures only rising to around 38. We're going to feel those crisp westerly winds blowing 13 to 16, gusting as high as 28 miles an hour. Clouds remain tonight as the temps plunge to around 23 overnight. And then tomorrow, we're expecting to see lots of sunshine, the high up around 36. Thursday, more sun, bit warmer, 43. Right now it's 32 in Flint, and in Saginaw, 34.
Flint's
Classic Rock Authority.
103.9 The Fox.
Yeah! Kiss. Very successful wind-up of their tour. Madison Square Garden. I saw lots of TikTok clips from people who were in the audience from various vantage points showing that last show of theirs after that long and illustrious career, but they think the band's going to live on in hologram form and other forms that are artificial. AI taking over, you know how that is. All right, guys, thank you very much for your attendance and your attention and hanging out here. All of you who came in either intending to or just because TikTok routed you here for a moment.